Hey, what is up, everybody? Michael Crump back here again, talking about the latest and the greatest in PlayStation homebrew news and much, much more. So, there's been really two major updates that I want to talk about here today. The very first one is that there has been a number of improvements to Slayer's Gorvy's host, which allows you to run your PS4 FPKGs on a PS5. I want to go through all of those changes, especially to the UI, to now you don't even need Netcat GUI in order to send the payload. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is that there is a problem with some games that were designed to work on PS4 9.00 Plus, and those games aren't installing as smooth as we would probably like on the PlayStation 5. I've got a fix that will help you get a majority of those applications running if you just follow my instructions. So let's just go ahead and let's jump straight into it. So we're going to need to go again back over to our web browser. I created a short link, which I mentioned in the last video. And that link is basically just bit.ly/FPKGS. So if you go there, then it will go ahead and it will launch this website. So upon the first boot now you see caching started. So we can go ahead and we can press OK here, and you can see caching status just right here. It's at 90, and there we go. It says page cached. So now at this point, we'll go ahead and we'll press OK. And so there are two different options here. One of them is JB plus Netcat. So this was the way that we were doing it before. But now there's a new one right here that says JB plus KStuff. So this is the one that's going to automatically have the payload. And that means we don't have to use a program like Netcat GUI, which we were using just the other day in order to get this to work. So let's go ahead and run the JB plus KStuff. And there you go. If you start to see those colors right there, again, that visual indication was not there before. And also we now get a notification that says the PS5 KStuff is ready to go. And right here it says you're all set. So I'm going to press OK. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and press the home button. I'm going to go to settings here, and I'm going to scroll down, and there is debug settings, which means that it did work successfully. So the process has been made so much simpler already. Another kind of neat thing is that now for the games, there is no longer a little padlock that was showing up. And for Quake 2, this was a game that I was able to update. So if we go over here to information, then we can see that it is on version 1.02. Now, I did have a bit of a problem with the existing install that I had of Quake 2, so I wound up just reinstalling it, and then I really had no problems with the latest and greatest host that Slayer's Gorvy has created. And obviously, this game, runs absolutely fine. Here again is one of the boss fights that is in Quake 2. And well, it is performing exactly what we would expect. The frames per second is right on target, and it is playing just absolutely wonderfully. There is some games that have some problems, and one of those being Assassin's Creed Mirage. So what I plan to do is to go ahead and show you how you can create those packages to go ahead and pair along with this update. Now, this may not be a thing that you have to do in the future, but if you want to go ahead and play some games such as Assassin's Creed, then here are the steps that you need to follow. Let's go ahead and jump over to the PC and take a look at those. So there is a utility that you can take advantage of by simply going to this site, which will be linked in the description. And then scrolling down just a little bit here, you can see that this application says that it followed the publication of Slayer's Gorvy's hack, allowing the execution of fake packages on PS4 on PS5 4.03. A small problem appeared, and that some of the backported 9.00 games pose a problem and give an error at the end of their installation. So the way to fix this is to merge the base game and the backported update into a single FPKG, and that is where their script comes in. So if you scroll down to the bottom here, you can go over to this site right here and download their utility. You don't have to read any of these other instructions, as I'm going to walk you through that in just a second. So go ahead and download this utility and come right back to the video. Okay, so once you go ahead and unzip that file, you will get these folders right here. Now, what you will need to do is you will need to put the base PKG file into the game folder. So if I go into my game folder, this is the Assassin's Creed base package. So this is 21.7 gigabytes. So that is where I have mine located. And then you're going to need to put the update that came with that game, which patched it to 1.02, as you can see right here in this update folder. And then what I would do from there is I would go back to wherever you extracted this tool from, and I would just come in here and I would type in CMD. Now this is just going to bring you into the directory of where this utility is at, and you're going to want to type ME and then hit the tab button to autocomplete. Once that is finished, go ahead and press the return key here. Okay, so the next question that it is going to ask you is to enter the CUSA number of the game. Now, I already know this because it was included in the release notes. But if you are wondering where you can find this information, then you might want to look up the game on something such as ORBISPatches.com. So once you get your CUSA title, go ahead and press the enter button here. And now what it's going to do is it's going to automatically do things such as extract the base game package. Then it will extract the patch, and then it will go ahead and it will merge both of those into one single package that you can put on a USB drive and then plug it into your PlayStation 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this script finish, and then I'll pick up the video once everything is complete. Okay, so everything finished up here, and this is the outputs of it. So obviously it has a lot of param information, such as the parental level and so forth, that was included in this. It does have the title here for Assassin's Creed. And then if I just scroll down into this just a little bit, then you start seeing where it starts adding all of the different files that originally were in that base version of the game. So it starts right there, adding the files, and it starts adding all of the different directories, and it begins creating that image. And then once all of this is finished, then you do have a final image that has been completed. Now, if you go back to the folder that you were working out of, then you'll see a file just right here that has both of those PKGs combined into just one. And you can look at the size over here and you can see this is 27 gigabytes, which is about the right size for the base plus the update of that game. So now you just need to simply insert a USB drive and then just copy that file onto your USB drive, as I've already done. And then let's go ahead and let's put that in the PS5 and let's get it installed. Okay, so back over on our PS5, we'll just go ahead and scroll straight down here to debug settings, game, and then package installer. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to install that Assassin's Creed game right here. Now, again, this will take just a second to install, and so I will resume once everything has finished installing. Okay, so there it goes. It just finished installing. So I'm actually going to go back to the home screen first, and we can see right there is Assassin's Creed Mirage. And if we go into the info here, one thing to note is that it will not show that it is 1.02. The version number does say 1.00, but now if we go ahead and we launch this game should be playable. Again, this is a very recent game that just came out, and now through Slayer's Gorby's PS4 FPKGs on PS5, we can now run this title and a bunch of other titles simply by creating one single package file. So that is very, very, very cool. And so once you finally get into the game, you can see again, it does have patch notes for 1.02. So you know that that's available. And yeah, you can go ahead and start up a new game and start enjoying this content. So that is where I'm going to leave it here today. I hope this kind of update helps show you some of the improvements that's currently being made. Don't forget to like this video and please subscribe to my channel. I would absolutely love to have you here for future PlayStation homebrew videos. With that being said, Michael out.